Hey, hi everyone. Hope we all are doing well. Now, this is time when you can add one more module to your profile. So, let's start the next topic of GRC, that is classical risk management. But before moving to this topic, make sure that you have the knowledge of entity type, entity, attestation, policy exception, issue, control. If not, please watch my previous video or collect this knowledge from any platform where you can understand these things clearly. Okay, so now I'm assuming that you are aware of entity type, entity, attestation, policy exception, issue, control. So let's get dive into our new session based on risk management. That is classical risk management. So in classical risk management, what we are going to cover, um, first of all, like what is this classical risk management? It provides a way to create and calculate all possible risk related to a particular entity. First, we will see about risk framework, then we will see about risk assessment, then risk. Okay, so on the navigation filter, search here risk framework. Okay, this is risk framework. So under risk framework, these can be fetched these records can be fetched from different platform like UCF, NIST, TSF, etc. by either input set or update set. Okay, these framework are for all possible risk related to CI or anything. Each risk framework have two related list uh, that we are going to see here. Let's open this one. Okay, so here what we are seeing, this is the number. Name is here mentioned. Description, additional information, and active. Okay. Now here is two related list. One is entity type and another is risk statement. Sorry. These framework are for all the possible risk related to CI or anything, right? So what we are uh, going to see here, see entity type, it can be created there or you can add using edit button, right? That is here, right? Click to create. For creating new, click on new. Edit option will you can able to add your previously created entity type. Okay, in the risk statement there are already present, like as shown here, 23 risk statement which is already present there and can be used for entities. Suppose we have 6 entity in our entity type and 5 risk statement in our risk framework, then the total number of risk will be 5 into 6, that is equal to 30 will be created. If we want only a particular risk statement related to that risk statement, right? If we want only a particular risk statement, then we should add entity type in the particular risk statement only. We will see it here. Suppose we are not going to give our attention to these things, we just want we just want any one of them. Suppose okay, we are doing for remote access, so we will open this risk statement and then in the entity type we can select our entity here. Okay, so now In this form, what we are seeing here, this is the name framework. It means which framework we are using. Okay. Now description, we can find additional information in the same. Then here we can, in the risk statement, what we are going to do, we just giving our concern to default score, which is basically based on or assumption on the knowledge they have, not it is not the calculated one, it is just the assumption. Okay. Here, the expected ALE and maximum acceptable ALE can be filled out by the risk manager if they have proper information about that, then only. Once they fill these two, then based on that, other field will get auto populated based on calculation. If like if they are not aware of those things, those two things, then the procedure will go on without mentioning those things. Let us not mention anything here. We are moving without mentioning these things. So let's just add one entity type that we have created previously. Item generation has been initiated. The process may take some time to complete. The corresponding risk of entities under this entity type will be created. Okay. So we have only one entity under this entity type. So one risk has been created. Now, as we have not mentioned anything in the default expected ALE and maximum ALE, so we don't have any like any score over here. So now we just have to calculate risk one by one. So just let open the risk. Now it is in draft state. Here in the risk, as we already told you what is excess step, right? You already aware of assessment. Then so owning group is the group that own the risk, okay? And owner is the member of this group, okay? Then assessment is same. Here assessment and assessment respondent. What does it means? Like it is same. Assessment will be same as in the risk assessment. Like what is in risk assessment, so that will be auto populate here. Assessment respondent will be same as entity owner. Who will be the entity owner? So that will be over here. Now in this, we just going to concern about scooping. Sorry, scoring. What it is? Scoring. Okay. So scoring is all calculation and all the things over here. Okay. In scoring, inherent ALE and residual ALE we will fill, okay? While calculated ALE have one formula, based on that it will get populated. And so I'm going to show you what is Okay, here see, while calculated ALE is equal to residual ALE in plus in bracket inherent ALE minus residual ALE, then calculated factor. Okay, where calculated factor is equal to indicator failure plus control failure divided by 2. It is a average of these two. Okay, and where we will find indicator failure and control failure, so that will be based on here. If here any non-compliant occur, then that will be calculated, and if indicator failure has occurred, then that will be available here. Suppose in case we don't have indicator failure and control failure, in that scenario inherent residue like calculated factor will be 0. So once it is multiplied with this one, so all here the value will be 0. So calculated ALE is equal to residual ALE. Now okay, we have seen this formula. Now risk, what is the process flow of risk? So once the risk process flow starts, so first it will be in draft state, then once we will click on the axis, so it will move to the axis state, and one assessment has been created, so we need to respond on that assessment as we already did. Okay, so the assessment has been created. Okay, under policy and compliance, we need to open assessment. What is that? Assessment. My assessment. Let's see over here. Okay. Now take the assessment. This question can be filled out according to your choice. If not, then we can use the out of the box one. Just submit this. Once you have submitted this assessment, go to the risk framework and risk. was this risk? I guess this one. Remote access one. Okay, this risk we have created, then it is moved to the respondent as we have completed this assessment. Now once this is in response state, so we can, like, who is the owner of this risk, can move it to the review and monitor state. Okay, now the next thing is for response, like moving forward state, what we need to fill here: response. Here, accept, avoid, mitigate, and transfer. The four response we can add here, any one of them. So what is meaning of that? Okay, like after selecting any one of them, a risk task corresponding to them will be created in the related list that we will see in later. Like here, accept means risk is very less and we are accepting those risks, and we are like that we will that risk have no that much impact to our organization. Avoid means changing the procedure to, avoid means changing the procedure to resolve it. Okay, mitigate means some required control we have to create. Okay, so that if any other user is going to use this risk, so they have to watch the control thing, like control um, will make them aware that this is a mitigate type. Okay, so that they can follow the same step to make this risk work. Okay, transfer means the entity, like transfer the entity and make the current entity work. Okay, so now what we will do, let's just put over here accept. Okay, once you keep the accept thing, so just save this form. So one risk response task has been created. Okay, if we are going to change this, okay, avoid, then what will happen? This risk response task will move to like cancel state. Okay, like it is in draft, we have to complete this. But if we changing the response type, then it will move automatically to the cancel state. Let's, I'm showing you. Suppose clicking on avoid, so what will happen when avoid a risk response task has been created, this one, and as it is active, so click over here. See, this one has been cancelled and this is in draft state, so we just need to um, complete this one only. Okay, now this is in draft state, make this work in progress. Okay, over here only, like who is the owner of this form, like assigned to a system administrator, that's why I'm able to see the work in progress button. But if you are logging with some other, so you have to impersonate with this user only, and then you will able to see the work in progress button. Okay, now click on work in progress. We have clicked, then um, click here it is, click request to review. Okay, request review button. Once it is moved to the review button, so now we can make it close. Okay, so it, as it has been closed, so let's see about what happened to our risk. Okay, this is in review state. This has been complete, assessment has been complete. Like what here, respond to it, move to the review state, our risk, right? Now, once it move to the review state, okay. So see, here it is in monitor state. Why? Because like whoever is the assessment respondent, they can only move it to monitor state. If you are not able to see this button, that means you are not the uh, assessment respondent. If you are not, then you should have to impersonate with that user, then only you will be able to make it monitor state. Okay. Click on monitor. After clicking on the monitor, you can either make it retire, or it will be automatically get retire after defined a period of time. Okay, so this way, risk can be deactivated. Like once you will click on the retire, so this risk has been retired, and we don't have to worry about that risk. Okay, so this is all about how risk is going to be calculated and how it can be managed, how possible risk can be how much, like how we can create all possible risk to the corresponding entities. Okay, so this is all about the classical risk. We will see in the next session about advanced risk assessment, advanced risk advanced risk management. So keep practicing these until that, just keep practicing these things, and hope you guys have enjoyed my session. So thanks for watching my video. Thank you. Bye. Take care.